Hello everyone, it's Julie Hedges and welcome to Monday Metta Live here on the Tarot Journey, and I am at one of my favorite sit spots. I'm near the river and it's a warm day, but the breeze is nice, so I hope that the breeze doesn't interfere with the sound here, because I know it can kind of come through the speakers. So hello dear Meg, how are you? Welcome to Monday Metta on the Tarot Journey here. Today's topic is Eclipse of the Soul for Monday Metta. And Metta, if you are just joining me for the first time and have never been to Monday Metta on the Tarot Journey, Metta is the Buddhist practice of loving kindness in action. And so it's a meditation, it's a prayer, but it's thought in action, word and deed of loving kindness. And so I've decided, 3 months ago or so, that I was going to do this every Monday, a short snippet. First I was going to share the prayer during the day, and then in the evening sometime, I didn't always know what time, but then I would share just a little talk about Monday Metta and the topic for the week. And this week we are talking about Eclipse of the Soul. This is anticipating the solar eclipse that's happening on this Friday, July the 13th. And it is in the sign of Cancer. And we're calling it the Eclipse of the Soul because Cancer is reflective of the soul. It's the sensitivity and nurturing of the soul. And so there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on here with the Cancer solar eclipse. And it's going to bring up a lot of things from the depths of our soul. A lot of energies that are helping us to really focus inside. If you have looked at astrology posts, or if you have read some of my articles, or have been paying attention to my page, you know that there are 6 planets in retrograde now. Woo! Retrograde means that from the Earth perspective, they look like they are going backward in the sky. That's not the case, but it just looks that way from our perspective. And when these planets are in retrograde, when they appear to be going backward, then that is cause for us to look within. So all of these energies are asking us to look inside, look inside. Look inside our wisdom, look inside of our determination, look inside of our lives very deeply. And one of the features of this particular solar eclipse that we're having on Friday, early Friday morning, about 3:43 Eastern AM, in 20 degrees of Cancer, one of the features is an opposition to the planet of Pluto. Pluto is the cosmic destroyer, the goddess of Kali, the destroyer who breaks down the old so all can become new again. And Pluto represents those things that we cannot see, but we can only feel. Particularly ruling of the body, of our human bodies, Pluto rules the processes of elimination and reproduction. Both of those processes we cannot see, but we can only feel. So it's that deep churning of letting go of what our bodies no longer find useful, and also that brand new life, that spark of life. These processes that we cannot see, we can only feel. So we've got this opposition with Pluto, and a solar eclipse in itself, just so we're aware on the energetic side. So the sun is representative of our everyday conscious thought, our operating consciousness, I like to call it. So our conscious mind will be momentarily blocked out by the moon, and the moon represents our emotional guidance system. So the moon is moving in between the sun and the earth, and so it's going to block out that operating consciousness, so we will only be able to see the shadow. We will only be able to perceive that which is internal, right? The moon being the part of our soul. And one writer that I really love to read her work, it's darkstarastrology.com. She says that the solar eclipses are wonderful for showing us where we are imbalanced. She likens it to, in yoga, having the tree pose. And the sun is pushing on those angles, and we're trying to hold our balance. But if you're performing the tree pose, then you know that you have to have your foot very solid, and you have to have your whole body aligned in its core to be balanced. And so solar eclipse is really going to reveal internally where we are imbalanced. So we've got that to kind of think about. And opposite Pluto, staring eyeball to eyeball with Pluto, is all of those things that we cannot see, we can only feel. So everything is showing us what's on the inside. Another part about Pluto that I've talked about before, and I love this. I love this. Pluto is the energy of the death card of tarot, which means regeneration. It's total transformation. Pluto is the energy of the chrysalis. Pluto is what makes the caterpillar become the butterfly. Now, if you ask the caterpillar, he might have a different perspective of that. All of the legs and body becomes all mush before it becomes long and lean and lithe and grows these beautiful wings to fly away. But that's the power that we are contending with. And not necessarily contending with, I don't mean to say it like that. It's not an adversarial thing, but it's really coming to look in the mirror at our transformation process and asking us to look inside and examine our power struggles. Pluto is the undercurrent of power. What is true power? Where do we derive our power? We know there's power in our elimination system. If we couldn't eliminate, then we couldn't assimilate. So that's power right there. And our reproductive faculties, we have to be able to regenerate. And that's what Pluto is all about. So we're looking eyeball to eyeball with those processes within our self so that we can become balanced and become aligned. Now we do have some help. We have some wonderful influences here. We have a grand trine. Trine is a very positive and symbiotic, helpful aspect. It means energies are working together. So imagine 3 friends are locked arm in arm and they're skipping across the road, right? That's a trine. Everybody's working together. And in good energy, good process, good flow. And the 3 friends that are together during this particular eclipse are Venus, Saturn, and Uranus. Venus is all about love and money. It's relationships, it's love, it's enjoyment, it's romance, and our possessions, the things that we value. Saturn, that's all about hard work, responsibility, and integrity. And Uranus, that's all about really owning who we are, being our unique self. So all of those 3 are in earth signs. So we are supposed to be grounding all of that into the earth plane and specifically into our bodies. So we're looking within the mirror, the mirror of this is the solar eclipse, the sun and the moon opposite of Pluto. And we're looking in the mirror and we're looking within. And then we have our helpers to help us ground that into the earth plane: Venus, Saturn, and Uranus. So Venus and Saturn working together are going to help us refine what we enjoy and where we are investing ourselves. And you can be sure that whenever Saturn is involved, if we do the work, we will have long-term benefits. So you got to study if you want to get the good grades. That's what Saturn does. Saturn says, sharpen your pencils, crack the book, do your work, and you will reap the rewards, long-lasting rewards, because anyone who has gone to school, gone to university knows it's hard work. There is dedication, and it's a long process. Some, it takes 4 years, 5 years. If you have advanced degrees, that's 8 years plus. But no one can take that away from you. That knowledge and education that you have from your investment, no one will ever be able to take away from you. You have it. It is solid. It is forever. That's what Saturn gives us. Uranus, what I love about Uranus is kind of quirky and individual. It's all about be exactly who you are. If you want to walk down the street with feathers on your head, do it. Uranus is about being exactly who you are and breaking out of any structure that says that you have to conform. So there's this phrase that I like, says, let your freak flag fly. I'm not necessarily saying be a freak, but let your individuality soar. And so those three friends are locked arm in arm, and they're skipping down the road. Uranus, Saturn, and Venus all together during this eclipse here, and helping us to ground that into the earth plane and specifically within our bodies. So what do you value in your personhood? How hard are you willing to work to get those things that you value or to keep them? And Uranus says, hey, when are you going to really be who you are? Pluto's going to help that process by showing us, here's some old, crusty, moldy stuff in the basement that's been sitting there for 20 years. Get it out of here. Get it out of here so that you can regenerate and reform. So maybe this week, maybe you're feeling it now. Go inside, kind of cocoon yourself for a bit. Mentally, emotionally, physically. If that means you have to shut the door, take an extra long bath, or take the phone off the hook. Disengage from social media after this video. Then do it. Because this is your time. This is your time for the eclipse to illuminate your soul, to help you rebalance, reconfigure, reform, refine, redo, and you will be renewed. And of course, we always take this time during Monday Metta Live to say the Metta prayer, because we are intending loving kindness for ourselves as well as others. And it has to start with ourselves. We have to fill up our own cup before we can pour out to others and give to others and be effective for others. So let's start with ourselves. The Metta prayer: may I be at peace. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be free. And then extending it out to everyone, may all be at peace. May all be safe. May all be happy. May all be free. And as always, I thank you for joining me for Monday Metta on the Tarot Journey. And may the peace that surpasses all human understanding go with all of you. Thank you for joining me today. Om Shanti.